Hey everybody, welcome back to Yanks the Cop. We are here tonight for a brand new show called the Viewers Fans Calling Show. So basically the aim of this show is after every match Liverpool play, the fans are going to be able to come on, jump on the stream and have your say about the game. So it's your chance to get your voice heard, whatever opinion you have, whether it's positive, negative, you just want to rant, or you just want to celebrate, come on, jump on, everyone's welcome and have your say. So obviously Liverpool ended up playing out a 2-2 draw, which was quite disappointing in the end, especially the fact that Liverpool kind of led this game for at least up until the last minutes of the game. There's another frustrating moment when we threw another league just like we did against Brentford. So, obviously we go into the international break 1 point behind Chelsea, but you're thinking after that Salah goal, that should have been the game winner. You probably think back 2 years back, Liverpool would have seen out that game and gone on to win 2-1. So it's just frustrating the fact that Liverpool just didn't see out the win. But we still haven't had a good start to the season. So let's get into it. Good to see Alan, mate, as always. Alan, if you want to jump on the stream, this is a fans calling show. Jump on and have your say about Liverpool. So I think we've got our first guest actually. I think his stream's broken. Yeah, so if anyone wants to jump on, that's the aim of this show, is for fans to jump on and have their say with Liverpool, about the match yesterday, what their opinion was, who played well, who didn't play well. I think for me, obviously the standout was Salah, but I was also quite impressed with Robertson's energy. I thought he showed good tenacity, hunger. I thought Matip played really well yesterday. I think for me, I was probably disappointed in Van Dijk. I don't think Van Dijk had that much of a good game. Didn't really influence it. I didn't think the midfield was that great. I thought Henderson and Fabinho were quite off the pace for most of the game. But here we've got our first guests. He's going to jump on.
How you doing, mate? Right?
How you doing, mate? Good to have you on.
Not too bad, mate. Yourself, good?
Yeah, so obviously Liverpool was a drew 2-2, mate. Like, what was your verdict on the game? And like, do you see it as another, the fact that we were 10 minutes to go, I mean, again, couldn't see our lead, like just as we did against Brentford. Do you see it as a big disappointment, or do you think, it's just a great point because, we played a very good City side?
Yeah, disappointing because, I mean, if you go ahead twice, just like in the Brentford game, you do expect us, especially at Anfield, to see it out. In the first half, I think everyone was screaming, just get to half time because we were going bad. You know what I mean? I just wanted that 45-minute, the whistle to blow because City were dominating, the goals coming. And I think we did well to get to half time, which is key because if you go down, then, in the second half, the game could be different. But to keep it 0-0, I think, as I said, 45 minutes, go in, regroup. We got the goal, which is massive. Again, just the goals we're conceding at the minute is just poor. Our midfield, I don't think our defense is a problem. I think it's midfield. I thought Henderson was poor yesterday. Fabinho wasn't great. Curtis Jones, didn't look too involved in the match. Just getting bypassing midfield really, really easily. You go 1-1, and then we get another brilliant goal through Salah, and again, just very easy for City to score. Unlucky with the deflection, but it's disappointing because against Brentford, we drew 3-3, which is another two points dropped. And of course, again, we dropped a lead twice, didn't we? We went 2-1 up, went 3-2 up, and we gave away both leads. So, I think it's 2 points dropped against Brentford, probably 2 points dropped against City, considering, we went in the lead twice. I think a couple of years ago, I tweeted out that we probably win that game. So something's not, 100% right for me. I'm not too sure what it is. Because I do think we see out those couple games and we go top of the league with 19 points. But it's not the worst point. It's not been the worst start of the season. We're still unbeaten. I think at 17 unbeaten in the league. We're top of our Champions League group. We're through to the Carabao Cup and we're 1 point off top. And we played City and Chelsea already. So it could have been better, or could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, just everyone else, who's watching, please do smash that like, subscribe button. And if you do want to, just jump on the stream. I'll put the link again in the chat. everyone's welcome to jump on tonight. Yeah, I think when you mentioned about the midfield, I think for me, what I've noticed, for most of the season, we saw it because what I noticed against Milan, definitely noticed against Brentford, I noticed against the Palace game that right hand side,
It's getting exposed.
it's getting exposed. Like maybe last year, the year before, our midfielders were able to cover the fullbacks when they're going forward and offer that protection.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive Henderson fan, so I'm not trying to say he's not good enough or anything like that. I just feel like injuries and his age have caught up with him. And I think right now he's struggling. It doesn't matter whether it's Milner or Trent, because you saw against Brentford and even at AC Milan that Trent had no protection from the right hand side midfield. And I think that's a massive issue there because all the attacks we're having now always come down that right hand side, and there's no one. Milner wasn't given any protection yesterday at all.
Yeah.
Most of the time he was facing like a 2-on-1 kind of situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's much a concern because when you think we've got Man United and Atletico Madrid coming up, those are big matches that they're just going to target the right hand side of the flank.
I mean, even Watford will have that new manager bounce with Ranieri, and that's going to be difficult away from home. So we need to be careful, especially after the international break. With I think it's Fabinho's probably going to be out of that one. Alisson might be out, so that could be another banana slip. Hopefully not. But, no, I think I agree with you because, as I said, Henderson yesterday, I think too much slack was going on to Milner because you have to remember he's 36, playing that right back against down that left side, which is targeted. It was 100% targeted from Man City. Foden and Grealish were overloading, even Cancelo down the left hand side. They were overloading that right hand side, and Henderson just looked really leggy, wasn't getting back. And Milner was just getting murdered down that right hand side, and probably should have been sent off. But it's a concern for me. It really is because City were getting through our midfield way too easily. I don't know what the problem is. Is it personnel? Is it tactically? Is it just the players themselves? But that needs to be sorted out because the midfield is the reason we're conceding goals at the minute. It's nothing to do with the defense because I think maybe the Brentford game I think they will pull. I thought Matip and Van Dijk were the best in that game. But in the City game, nothing. They were spot on. Matip was brilliant in terms of his passing. Van Dijk was solid as ever. So I think that's the main concern for me is the midfield, and hopefully with Thiago back after the international break, I think we missed him massively in the last few weeks. That control midfield, dictating the play. I think we could have done with that against Brentford to see the game out. Could have done with that against Man City to see the game out. But yeah, overall, as I said, it's disappointing. It really is disappointing because to come away, so close to 10 minutes to go, you expect us to see it out. You do. And I thought Fabinho scored near the end as well. Thought we could nick it again. But look, he should have scored. He just took a bit too long on it, didn't he? He dwelled on a bit too much.
I just feel like like the midfield yesterday, it's left a lot to desire. I didn't agree with starting Curtis Jones yesterday. I felt Naby Keita should have started. I don't understand why Keita never came on, even at all as a substitution. I don't understand why we didn't use our sub. And I felt Milner should have been taken off should have said it, way before because he was walking a tightrope. He should have been sent off for me. And I also felt that he was struggling. That even when Sterling came on, he was struggling. Sterling was headed for toast again as well. So I didn't understand why he stayed on for so long. And you know what surprised me as well? I was calling for Bobby to come on. Bobby came on and actually did nothing that 10 minutes.
He did absolutely nothing. I mean, I was saying, we need him to sort of link up, link the attacks up. But yeah, he was just poor. He was as poor as Jota in doing that. He just came around, ran around for a bit and contributed nothing. To be fair, I thought Mane and Salah did well in the second half because I don't think they were great or much involved in the first half. I thought they were really good. But yeah, Jota again, huffed and puffed, had a couple of chances in that second half. Wasn't great. Bobby wasn't great either. But you're right on the midfield. It is worrying. It is worrying, and I don't know how to solve it, or what to think of it at the minute, really. Because with Keita, I just don't know if Klopp trusts him in these sort of games. Because we saw he played well against Norwich and Burnley. The first big game that comes around, he gets benched at Anfield for Chelsea at home, and Elliott plays with Henderson and Fabinho. at the first opportunity, Henderson plays in a position at left central midfield, which he's not used to and was poor in that game, got taken off for Thiago and didn't even come on that beat, did he? Didn't play away at Leeds, didn't play at home to Palace. I know he scored that goal. Obviously got injured against Brentford, and he's been on the bench for the past 2 matches against Porto and City and hasn't played a single minute. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Klopp has that full trust in him. Maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain is something at right back, which I thought could have been maybe a better option than Milner. He's played there for Arsenal before. I know it's not been in the back four; it's been in the back three, which has more protection. But that could have been an option. But at the minute, in that midfield department, it's looking quite thin in terms of. I know Keita will be back properly and Thiago will be back, but in terms of protection and just form at the minute, it's not looking great because I thought Curtis Jones, it just wasn't the right game for him. I could barely notice him in the match, and that's no. I'm not saying he was awful, but just no real impact. And but he wasn't as bad as Henderson was. I thought he was just really poor yesterday. And obviously he's our captain. He's been fantastic for us over the past decade. But yeah, he hasn't really had a great start to the season. I thought against Chelsea he was poor, got taken off. Thought he was poor last week against Brentford, apart from the cross, which was brilliant. To set up Jota, I thought he was poor again. He just looks like he hasn't got that same energy at the minute. And he just looks a bit leggy. He's not tracking back. That's why Trent got exposed in that 3v1 situation away at Brentford with a cross. At the minute it hasn't been a great start to the season. And I don't think going to England, going to England for international duty helps as well. I think he needs a couple more weeks to rest and recover and be ready for a tough period for us because we've got another 4 away games coming up with Watford, Atletico, Preston United.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough after international break. I think I remember seeing someone saying, I think it was not maybe 2 years ago or maybe last year. I don't think last year because we didn't play Atletico last year, but 2 years ago we lost to Watford, Man United, and obviously we lost to Atletico Madrid, and that kind of defined us. It was when we won the league. We lost those 3 teams, and that kind of defined us for the rest of the season. That season, because obviously we just went into free fall. So, these are big pivotal games, and like I said, they are banana skins. I wanted to touch you on one thing. I think Jota is a very good player, but I think he's, we're lucky to have him. He was a bargain buy, and he's been phenomenal for us. But I don't think Jota's good enough to be a starting striker if you want to win the title. And people might say that's a bit harsh, but I don't think he scores enough goals or is clinical enough, has enough impact in the big games. And I think Jota was signed obviously as a backup player. And obviously it's just the fact that Bobby's been poor in terms of goal scoring. Jota's got in ahead of him because he scored goals. But I don't think either of them are the kind of striker you want in week in and week out. Liverpool are dying for, I don't know, not it's unrealistic, but a poacher who can, who's going to be in the box and score goals and be clinical, has an impact. Because, as you said, Jota, he tries yesterday, but I think even that shot he had, if he hits it wide either side of the keeper, he shot straight at the keeper.
Yeah.
On
the left foot.
Yeah, he shot straight at the keeper. Like either side of the keeper, he makes the keeper, he's got more of a chance of scoring, but just shooting straight at the keeper doesn't do anything. So I think Jota's a great player. I just feel like he's not the person you want starting week in, week out as when you're trying to win the league title. Great, he scored a couple of goals here and there, but he did miss too many chances to be that clinical, to be the main guy.
I don't think it's. No, what were you saying there?
No, I just said I don't think he's the striker you want.
Yeah.
Based on if you want to win a title.
Yeah, I'm not sure at the minute. I don't think he started the season off well, but since then it's sort of been a bit poor. Missed a great chance at home to Palace. Wasn't great at Leeds. Wasn't really great at Chelsea when he came on. Wasn't really great yesterday. I just don't think he's a striker personally. And I thought when he first came, started scoring those goals, I think he's definitely more of an impact player, than a Firmino is. I don't think Firmino's an impact player you can bring off the bench and change the game. All right, he scored 2 goals against Porto, but a couple of them were a bit lucky. And then,
if we're honest about that Porto game, Porto were terrible. As good as we were, they were awful.
they were
They're
awful,
awful.
and they've always been awful against us, and the game was done anyway. But I don't think, and we've seen again, Firmino, when he comes off the bench, he doesn't really do anything. I think he's more of a starter. I think it's the other way around. But for me, it's just Jota's link-up play as well. That isn't great. His hold-up play is non-existent. His link-up play compared to Firmino isn't great. But what you do get with Jota, recently he hasn't been that clinical, but most of the time what you do get is when you get a cross in the box or a half chance, he normally does put in the back of the net. All right, he hasn't been doing it in the past 3 or 4 games, but yeah, I've always said that I think we do need a star striker. I always said I think that should be one of our priorities alongside a midfielder. Someone big like a Haaland or that sort of name. And he's available next summer, isn't he? And that's the sort of player we should be going for. Whether we will, I don't think that will ever happen, which is just disappointing because we're a massive football club. I think these are the sort of players that we should be in for. And he'd be a player that suits us to the T, sharp, aggressive, quick. We work well with Salah and Mane, and obviously that's not going to happen. So we just got to stick with what we have. And I think Jota and Firmino are great players. I just think that Jota needs to get in a bit of form. Not sure about him down the middle at the minute. Just doesn't look right to me. Off the left, I think he's probably a bit better. But then again, you got Mane there. So how are you gonna play? How are you gonna play Jota for left if you got Sadio Mane down that side? So it's a difficult one for Klopp. I think Firmino, after he's got 2 weeks off now because he hasn't been called up to the Brazil squad, he needs to refresh, reset, and try fight for his place back. Because I think I would start him away at Watford. For me, I think I'll go with the original front three of Salah, Firmino, Mane, and give Jota a break because he's going to be going off on international duty. I think it's time for Firmino to come back into the team.
Great. So Chris, welcome on.
How are you doing?
Welcome on. How did you take? What was your view of yesterday's game? And obviously, as you heard, we're just talking that while we both think Jota's a very good player, is he the one to lead you to a title challenge in terms of scoring enough goals?
I do agree with both of you, to be honest. As much as I love Jota, I think he's not consistent enough. Like you said, to EU to the big trophies like the Premier League and the Champions League. It's all right doing it against Porto, who probably I wouldn't trust him to hit a towel's backside, if I'm being honest. But yeah, he's not consistent enough, Jota, but he is more of an impact player, maybe, off the bench. I mean, we do need that Porter because Firmino is getting on, and we need something different now because Firmino, I think he's on B. I think he's in his 30s now, or is he just below 30?
Or just hit 30, yeah.
Yeah. We do need that Porter. We've been begging for it, for months now that we needed that something different. Our striker, so. But yeah, as for the game, I mean, the game lived up to expectation. It wasn't a 0-0 like 2018-19. Not having that big build up, and obviously the big build up now getting lived up to expectation. So I don't think Jota. I think Jota's more coming off the bench for me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I feel like Jota's been a fantastic buy, and I think we all agreed. We all agree on that. I just feel like he's not consistent. Like we both said, as both of you guys have said, he's not consistent enough. So why do you guys? Just an open question to both of you. We'll start with you, Chris. So why do you think that we are struggling to see out leads at 10 minutes to go in the game? That's twice now we've gone up, and the Liverpool 2 years ago. See how's the game. Even we could say, okay, Trent wasn't here today, but even against Brentford, we should have seen out the game when we went 3-2 up, and then we conceded in the last 5 minutes of the game to go 3-3. We would have won that game a couple of years, 2 years ago. So I think that's a concern because obviously we've got Atletico Madrid and Man United coming up. You know, we know we're away in Atletico. We normally struggle in Spain. You know, Man United's never an easy game at Old Trafford, even though we haven't lost there for a while. But they're going to target that right-hand side as well. So, like, why are we not able to see out leads that we normally would have done?
I think I think we are starting to. I think people are now starting to. Well, teams are now starting to fiddle us out. Like, we're not the team. We are kind of getting back to 1920, but we're not defensively. We're still, like you said, we're not where you. The difference between 1920 and now, in 1920 we were holding on to Yates and obviously or even turn it around. And I think you need to put it down to Van Dijk. Fred Van Dijk is getting to full fitness still. It's on taking time, and obviously Trent obviously, or even though he didn't play the weekend against Brentford, it wasn't that help on that right hand side, were you? I thought Henderson was quite poor in that game against Brentford as well. I know I don't want to say that because I love him as I would have done, but it didn't help. It didn't help Trent much that much at Brentford. And obviously, against Man City, I expected Milner to be the weak point. As much as Milner pockets Saha, it's a different beast coming against Man City. Man City, the team to beat, in my opinion. They are the champions for a reason, and I thought I wasn't really shocked when they targeted James Milner. And Milner, there was a bit of a debate, should he have been sent off or not? I mean, football's done soft these days sometimes. So, but I think it's just, I think we need to get a consistent back four because even though Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, they have been consistent back four. Van Dijk needs time for this season, and I think they need time, but it is quite worrying though, if I'm being honest, because the midfield would usually help that back four, like in previous seasons when we won the lead, etc. And so I think the midfield's is another worrying part for me. Like, I mean, you don't might be this fanboy, Naby Keita. I did warn people that he will get one more injury, and I was proven right. He's just he's like the NHS hospital bed model now, isn't he? So I mean, who we got where you fit in that midfield? You got Fabinho, Henson, Jones. I mean, I'm sorry, that ain't gonna win you the league title, in my opinion, or the big trophies. Who knows? I might be proven one, but I'm going on now, aren't I? I'll get over that. Over that answer.
Yeah. So So interesting. Now, obviously, we haven't had our start's been decent overall. Like, we can't really complain. You know, to be a point, you know, behind Chelsea, who spent way more than us. You know, we're still in a decent position. But then obviously, I think my worry is, you know, after this national break, you know, obviously Bobby, Alisson, Fabinho, they're not going to play against Watford.
Bobby Wall, he didn't get called up to the Brazil.
I didn't call up. Oh, good. But Alisson not being there is a blow.
Yeah.
Fabinho not. We know how bad we are when Fabinho's not playing. So that's going to be a huge blow. They're not potentially being there.
The daughter of mines as well, Watford.
Yes, bananas against Watford. You know, I remember when they beat us at Vicarage Road. You know, when they beat us like 3-0, ended our unbeaten run. That hurt. You know, so.
It's early kickoff as well. You know what I mean? New manager bounce, early kickoff away from home after the national break. You know, it's got the hallmarks of a banana skin, but you know we need to avoid that.
What do you guys think of the Watford Atletico Madrid, Man United game. How many points do you both give on our Saturdays? We'll start with you, GC.
I think you've got a good. It's a tough one because we've drawn. We've the problem is, right? I'd say I wouldn't. I think a point away at Old Trafford is never a bad result, right? But I think we've got to go there and win. Only because we've dropped too many points now. We dropped 2 at home to City. We dropped 2 away at Brentford. We haven't really got, margin to make a mistake at this current point. We need to start winning some games. I'd say a 3 points at Watford is a must. We have to win 3 points there. Obviously, if we can beat Atletico Madrid away, that would be brilliant. But considering we've beaten Milan at home already, we've beaten Porto away, I'll take a point away at Atletico Madrid. I think that would be a good result. And that will still put us in a very good position considering we've still got Porto home, Atletico home, and then Milan away. And then United away, we can go there and win. There's no excuses. We can go there and win. We proved that last year with Phillips and Reece Williams at the back, put 4 past them. Obviously, it'll be a different game. They're a better team now. Or they've got better players. I'm not sure about a better team considering their start to the season. The fans will be there, so it'll be a different match. But we can go there and win at Old Trafford. We definitely can. But what we need to do is just see out games better. You know what I mean? We need to see out games better. I mean, if someone offered me right now 4 points in those 2 league games and a draw away at Atletico Madrid, would I take it right now? I wouldn't, because I think we can go and beat Manchester United at Old Trafford and beat Watford away. So I wouldn't take it right now. If we get it, I wouldn't overreact. I still think that would be a decent return, but we do need to start winning some games now. And away at Old Trafford, I think is a game that we can win, and that would be a big statement to go there and win, because there's things we won once in the last 6 or 7 years, and that was of course without any fans. Some could say so. Yeah, I think we would draw that game, if I'm honest with you. I think it's sort of a game which I can see us drawing, maybe a 1-1 or something again. I think it'll be Watford. I think we draw against Atletico Madrid. I'm not sure if you guys would take that 4 points in a draw in the Champions League if someone offered it, if I offered it to you right now. But I think that's the most realistic scenario. But we can definitely go to Old Trafford and win.
Yeah, I just seeing some of the comments here. Joseph Gatonga says, Ranieri, what do you think people think of Ranieri going Watford? I think Ranieri is a very good manager. He's been good everywhere he's gone, and he sets his team up well organized. They can play good football when they need to be, and like I said, the new managers bounce. He's gonna set Watford up to frustrate us and play counter-attacking football. And obviously they've got Sarr. Watford here says Sarr will kick Liverpool's ass. Sarr's a dangerous player. He reminds me of a young Mane, so it could be difficult there. In that Saturday morning. But yeah, so Chris, what about you? How many points do you expect out of those games?
Honestly, $34. Sorry about that. I think I do expect us to beat Watford. I think it will be a banana skin with a huge impact. And I think it's always tough down to Watford as well. For us, we don't beat Watford that comfortably in past meetings, apart from what I remember, 18-19, I think it was. I think so. It's gonna be tough. It's always gonna be tough down to Watford. Away to Man United, I can see that being a draw. Honestly, it always has that big build up, and it ends up being a draw, and it could be Oidon Solskjaer's last game, and I can see him ending up pulling something out of the bloody bad to save himself. Away to Fettor, that's the one I'm nervous about. Away to Fettor, we don't. They are our nemesis. Where in Europe, never mind Champions League. Remember Europa League as well. I don't think we beat them in the Europa League, so it's gonna be tough against them. So I think 3 points against Watford. I do expect us to get the job done there. Yeah, I think 5. I think 5 points. I think Man United will be a draw, and I think Atletico Madrid will be a draw. I can't really predict those to use. Even though I think realistically, I think Atletico Madrid will be more of a loss than Man United, in my opinion. Because you know what Simeone is like, just shit out 1-0. every game for him. So I think 5 points. 3 against Watford and 1 against and the 2 against Atletico and Man United.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think Atletico Madrid just beat Barcelona recently, so they had a good 2-0 home win against Barcelona. So
You can't beat Barcelona at the minute.
that's true. That's true. They are a tragic team, Barcelona, right now. But I mean, again, that would have still given them some confidence because they haven't been amazing this year, Atletico Madrid.
No. Would you take that though? Would you take a win at Watford, a draw at United, and a draw at Atletico Madrid if it offered you, say
if it was offered me now, I probably would take it because I think we should be in Watford regardless of the players who got missing. We should be in Watford. Atletico Madrid, it's always a tough game. I don't think Klopp's going to set us up to there to go play football. Even like when we went to Atletico Madrid, we lost with Atletico Madrid a few years back. We were shocking in Spain that game. It's only Anfield we played well. We were shocking in Spain. We created nothing there. So I don't think that's changing. I don't think our record in Spain is going to change when we go play Atletico Madrid. So we can get a draw. That's a good result. Atletico Madrid aren't that good away from home. So I'd back us to beat them at Anfield. But we can come away from a draw. I'll take that. Man United, in the United game, I know most of the time when we go to United, we're never ambitious. We go there for a draw.
Yeah.
Or we can nick a goal. I'd want us to be more proactive and go there trying to go for brave and go there for a win. I think Klopp sees it as a draw away to United is not the worst result, which I don't like.
And it's the way Ollie sets United up all the time anyway. I mean, quite defensive, and we just sort of seem to accept it and just take the point.
And that's frustrating. So I'm hoping that United game, of all those actually for both the Atletico Madrid and Man United game, that Thiago's back because he can be the difference. He can be the difference of those 2 games. So I'm hoping he's back, but we'll see. Because they say he's back after national break, but when after national break?
It sort of feels like the Richarlison injury, doesn't it? When it just sort of felt like he's back after the national break, and I'll be back here, there, and it just ended up about 2-3 months out, didn't it? So
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Let's just hope he's confident against Watford because we need him desperately because that midfield is really concerning at the minute.
Yeah, and I just wonder as well. Like, I just hope we have no injuries into this international break.
Of course.
The one thing we can't afford is just any one of our players to come back with injuries.
Yeah.
So but obviously we still got to be positive. We're still a point off Chelsea. There's still lots to play for. There's going to be lots of twists and turns this season.
Yeah.
Both the Champions League and the Premiership. So, it's disappointing as a draw was. We can bounce back with a win against Watford. It starts us up, that difficult run we're going to have, in a positive position. So, let's see what happens there.
It's still early anyway. It's still early in the season. Nothing's decided this early. We can only judge teams start the year, really. That's when you can judge teams.
Yep, and it will be interesting to see how we cope without Salah and Mane, even if it's just 3 games.
That's gonna be.
I think they miss Brentford Palace. I'm not sure if they miss the Chelsea game, which is on New Year's Day. I'm not sure if they're supposed to fly out after that game, but we do need them at Stamford Bridge. We can't be going into it with Jota, Firmino, and Minamino. You know what I mean? That's just not good.
But we have got the legendary Minamino and Reedy. They're perfect replacements. I've been told. So.
Well, that's going to be the thing, the acid test for us. If we, how many? Because what you need is just to run a form and start scoring goals again.
Yeah.
And have that break where he had where he was scoring before the Michelin game because he was injured.
Yeah.
Have that run then because then
Even
it gives you
towards,
some
even
confidence.
towards the end of the season, mate.
So
Even towards the end of last season, remember when he came back, he scored a couple with Arsenal. Scored against Wolves, Leipzig,
United as well.
United.
yeah, so we need that kind of run where he has that kind of form again because he looks low and confident. So and he's trying too hard. And obviously, hopefully we can survive that. But that's a long way to go. I think first now we just have to focus on no injuries, and then beating that Watford in that early kickoff, which is not going to be easy, and not allowing this new manager Ranieri effect to have a massive effect on us. But otherwise, it's thanks lads for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I will be doing this show regularly, so anytime as well, you're always more than welcome. Jump on because I'm trying to do a brand new show after every game, so just see how that goes. Otherwise, everyone in the chat, you've been amazing. Do appreciate you coming on. Do smash that like, subscribe button. Everyone who does watch today on the replay, anytime as well, you guys want to join, just jump on the stream when we are doing the fans viewers show after matches, and you're more than welcome. Doesn't matter who you support, just jump on. Otherwise, lads, hope you have a great evening.
You too,
You
mate.
too, mate.
Thanks for coming on. Everyone else, up the Reds, and we'll see you all soon.